Hey guys, this is John Callum from Kohol Garage, and you could see in my shot right here, right now, I'm spending a sleepy yet sweltering Sunday morning with my dogs, with my garage dogs over here. Today's topic, why I'm making this video as I sweat profusely, is that we're gonna talk about brakes. I've done some brake customizations, brake modifications on particularly 3 project cars that we have here on the shop. And the first one we're gonna talk about is this Wagon Elantra over here. As you can see, it has some 16x8 Borbet style wheels. It has a universal bolt pattern. When you say universal, basically has 2 bolt patterns, 4x100 and 4x114. The Elantra has a 4x114 bolt pattern. So it's not a very common bolt pattern when it comes to sourcing aftermarket wheels for your car. And so we Elantra owners have to rely on using these four-hole universal style of wheels. So the 1996 to 1998 Elantras, Hyundai Tiburons, Coupes, these cars usually have a captive rotor setup, which means that the rotors are rigidly mounted onto the hub via several bolts. The more modern setup is what you call a floating rotor, where the lug nuts are the ones affixing the rotor to the hub. Rotor is basically not super duper rigidly mounted in a sense. The major concern for the normal typical Elantra owner who wants to upgrade to aftermarket wheels is that those heads that protrude and affix the rotor to the hub interfere with the back of the wheel. When you have OEM wheels, they usually have a recess on the back of the wheel to clear the heads of those bolts. But with aftermarket wheels, especially 4-holes universals, they don't really have those pockets behind the wheels. And so it's kind of hard to find 4x114 aftermarket wheels here in this country because for 4 holes, the usual supported bolt pattern is 4x100. What we usually do is to put those not so desirable universal spacers so that it clears those stud bolts. We have done a non-captive rotor conversion to this car, and I'm making this video in one take for this particular car because I'm going to dismount it and give you guys a close-up as to what we've done to the brakes. Okay, so let's start now. So I have my tools to remove the various stuff that I want to show you today. So I have my cross wrench and I have an adapter or what we call the key or the susi to remove my Sparco type lug nuts. It's actually quite loose because we're still working on the car, no? So only 2 lug nuts right now are affixing these wheels into the car. This is something new. I don't usually work on cars on camera, so I'm not really a mechanic. I employ mechanics here at the shop to work on cars that I own and cars of friends and family that wish to have their cars done here. Move this wheel. Yeah. So again, just a closer shot, right? So these are the Borbet 16x8 offset 35 wheels, fitted with Toyo tires, expired Toyo tires 1955016. The thing is, I'll show you the back of the wheel. So the back of the wheel, you can see 8 holes here, and they basically have a flat surface. With the Elantra standard hubs that this car came with, those heads of the bolts that affix the rotor to the hub interfere with the back of wheels like this, these 8-hole universal wheels. They don't have pockets here to accommodate for those heads, bolt heads. And so we converted to the captive rotor setup. I'll use my other phone to give you a view. So, okay, this is a close-up of the rotor. We're using the stock calipers of the Elantra. And these are rotors from, I don't know, I don't remember what car exactly. Or if I remember, I won't say. I used to have stock of the correct rotors for the non-captive conversion. I had the hub conversion with on hand. And so we changed the hubs. We used new wheel bearings, new hubs. Rotors are surplus from I don't know what car. They're actual Elantra rotors, Tiburon rotors that are an exact fit for this conversion, which if ever you guys are interested, we can order for you. So it basically bolts on and it's already rusty and crusty. What we had to do in order to clear the wheels, you could see that when we first mounted the wheel, the brakes were gouging the back side of the wheel because this has poor brake caliper clearance for some reason. And so we, for fitment's sake, it's actually safe to do. I had my guys grind off this bit of the caliper bracket holding the brake pads just to gain more clearance. So you could see it has really severely gouged the backside of the wheel. When we were trying to push the car, that's why we were thinking, why is it so stiff to push the car? Apparently has gouged the wheels. But yeah, this is the non-captive rotor setup. If this were the original brakes, there would be bolt heads here on 4 parts of the rotor. This is not upgraded rotors by any means. It is the stock size. I think these are 255 mm rotors, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, this is the stock size that fits behind 14-inch wheels. So I can go back to the 14-inch original wheel with this setup. We're just enjoying this aftermarket wheel. I'm a sucker for these 5-spoke style wheels. That's the brake upgrade here for the wagon. It's always a challenge in figuring out how to do the things that you want to do to your car to achieve a certain fitment, a certain look. But for me, it's just being able to use the wheel that I like on this car. Without using spacers, but I guess this is a 16:8 offset 35. I don't want it to stick out too much off of the fender over here. So, I'll see you guys on the next video. Ciao!